Hey guys, tonight we're driving the 2023 Nissan Rogue Midnight Edition. This is the SV all-wheel drive. The front-wheel drive Midnight Edition starts around 34 grand. This is $36,000 including destination. Comes with different 18-inch alloy wheels, blacked out exterior trim, and a two-tone interior. Pretty nice looking package. We drove a Nissan Rogue not too long ago, so I wanted to give you guys a POV night drive of this one that we have this week. This Nissan Rogue is painted in Boulder Gray, and the interior is super black. Very fuel efficient, 28 miles to the gallon in the city, 35 on the highway. Nice and roomy back seat, plenty of cargo space. We get rear window shades in this Midnight Edition, some contrast stitching. You can see this two-tone brown and black interior trimming on the doors. Looks pretty nice inside. Plenty of headroom in the back. Nice and spacious cargo area back here. Compact spare tire. Power tailgate. You can see we've got midnight badging right there, as well as blacked out badges for SV all-wheel drive and Rogue. New Nissan logo is looking pretty sharp on this. All right, let's hop inside. We'll take this for a drive, show you what headlight performance looks like, how the cabin looks at night. One thing I do like about this Midnight Edition is that we get analog gauges. They're just so much easier to read and simpler than the digital gauge display that Nissan has these days. Very easy to use steering wheel controls, lots of physical buttons. Love the way these interiors are laid out. Easy drive mode selector down here. You have options between sport, eco, auto, snow, and off-road drive modes. Of course, this being all-wheel drive, you do have a bit of off-road and winter capability with this Nissan Rogue. This has very nice climate controls, physical buttons for heated steering wheel, heated seats, fan speed, and of course auto climate control. We have two USB ports down here, USB type A and a C, stop start button, no wireless charging, but a nice center console and just a very well laid out interior. We get a pretty massive panoramic moonroof. Reverse camera looks pretty good at night, nice and high res. Good visibility all around too. In this new 2023 Nissan Rogue, we get the 1.5 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. Makes 201 horsepower. Of course, that's mated to a continuously variable transmission. Pretty fuel efficient power plant, decent amount of power, and kind of sounds like a baby V6. Direct and responsive steering for a crossover. Power really starts to fall off in the higher revs, but for most driving, merging onto the highway, casual runs around town, this is a really nice, smooth, comfortable powertrain. Engine's a little bit loud at full throttle, but I think I can forgive it. We do get paddle shifters behind the wheel, mimicking fake shifts with the CVT. Sport mode will keep the revs up a little bit higher and downshift as we brake into corners. Actually handles surprisingly well. Headlight performance is decent too. Unfortunately, haven't driven this in any inclement weather, so haven't really been able to test out the all-wheel drive system that much. It will be raining some tomorrow, but it seems like it's a pretty well-balanced all-wheel drive system, not too front-biased, not getting a lot of wheel spin back there on that tight 90-degree acceleration out of the entrance ramp. It seemed like it distributed power to the rear wheels pretty well, eliminating wheel spin. I'd say headlight performance is about average for cars these days. Illuminates the road pretty well ahead of you, no complaints, but definitely not an exceptional set of lights up there. I do like the way this 3-cylinder sounds. It's kind of throaty. Does its best impression of a GTR or a VQ engine. For night driving, I love that we get a physical dimmer switch here to control our gauge cluster brightness. So nice. Hate seeing those switches hidden in the infotainment systems these days, and it's so great to get a button to press quickly at a moment's notice and adjust as the sun is setting and as it gets dark out. Could also be the colder temperatures, but the ride is a little bit on the stiffer side, even on these 18-inch wheels with plenty of sidewall, though it is nice to see a little bit more sidewall on a trim package in this Rogue. 18s are kind of a sweet spot for crossovers in this class. It still handles incredibly well on these 18-inch tires. Feels a little bit lighter, more nimble and agile than I was expecting.
Watch out, roadworks reported on the road ahead.
Just a super easy vehicle to live with. Every button, everything in this interior is placed exactly where you expect it to be. You can hop in this and immediately know how to use every control, every function almost immediately. Nissans always get a little bit of grief in the comments for their CVTs and this and that, but they are doing interiors very well these days, and one of the few manufacturers that are actually giving us very user-friendly spaces with still a good amount of tech, but they're not making their cars overly complicated or difficult to use. The materials feel nice, they drive well enough. It's just an easy car to get in, drive, and perform basic transportation functions without feeling like you're distracted all the time with trying to just turn on your climate control or heated steering wheel. It's all just very easy to do and live with day to day. Lacking a little bit in powertrain refinement and outright horsepower and acceleration. But if you factor everything else in, the practicality of this, the size, the interior space, I think Nissan's done a pretty good job with this new Rogue. It would be nice to see something other than a CVT one of these days, but I will say it is a very smooth powertrain and very comfortable to drive and live with. Alright guys, we'll walk you around this one more time, and that'll be a wrap. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. That is the 2023 Nissan Rogue SV all-wheel drive Midnight Edition. Not quite filmed at midnight, but we can pretend it was.